Welcome back to the middle of the night. Haven't been able to sleep because I've been writing. Writing is really something about writing. It takes you in. It sort of brings a lot of things together. It brings a focus not only to your timeline, but it pulls on the memory, and memories it brings things up, kind of freshens up your past, which I know some of my friends said is very dangerous, but I don't always listen to my friends. Okay, so I thought I'd read a little bit. I don't know, just rough draft, but it's sort of the beginning of the the time in the Philippines. I arrived at the SM City Mall with my bag and sat and had a tea at the Tea, Bean, and Leaf Cafe. I opened up my laptop and found the directions to a guest house nearby that I had booked back in Taiwan. The taxi dropped me off outside in a dirt back alley road after bouncing up and down a beat-up old dirt potholed artery that finally led me to my compound. The green wall had a small green door that had a little white buzzer button. I pressed it. The door opened and a long-haired Japanese guy with no shirt said, "Hello, are you Rob?" "Yeah, nice to meet you." "How many days will you be staying?" "Oh, at least one, maybe more. Let's see." I carried my easel and paint gear and my rucksack into the bedroom as he turned the light on. This was basically a house with a nice-sized living room and kitchen. My room was medium-sized, like a child's playroom. Sorry. My room was medium-sized, and I was next to the bathroom. There was another small closet kind of room, which seemed like a child's playroom that I would later rent out for $7 a night. I had use of the kitchen and made a spirulina shake and some lentils for dinner. I was feeling in my element. I felt like I was on a grand adventure. The Japanese wife, the Japanese man's wife finally came home. Both of them must have been somewhere in their early 30s, I am guessing, and they would lounge on the couch and drink hard alcohol drinks and watch TV. I could see from some advertisements that they also ran a tour guide company as well. The vibe was hippie, Japanese hippie. I felt at home and began to paint in my small room for $10 a night. I had no real agenda other than to paint and teach online. There was about 3 hours of work to do each night, and life felt free. By now, I had been online for about 4 years. With my room sorted and my canvas and paints out, my next move was to continue chatting on the dating app and meet some women in person. After all, I was a healthy young male, and why let a good libido go to waste? I had 5 dates before I met Christy. Date number 1 was a gorgeous young single mom who had met me at the Starbucks and had come back with me to my room only to get her picture drawn and to go home early because of bad traffic and lack of a babysitter. I understood her bind and said goodbye, never to see her again. Date number 2 was even cuter and hung out with me in my small room as I played guitar for her. I, for some reason, did not put the make on her and wanted to take it slow. I sent her on her way on a motorbike, and honestly, I was not sure how old she was. I did not want to get myself into a situation. Some of those gals say they are 30 and look way younger. Best to err on the side of caution always. Date number 3 was up along the coast, and I had to ride a bus all night to meet her. I dropped off alongside the cliff. Highway at a beautiful resort with a large outdoor swimming pool and deck overlooking the cliff. Once my classes were done for the evening, the girls arrived. Yes, girls. The girl and her sister. This is common in the Philippines and nothing unusual. We sat and had dinner. The girls made some excuse and had to say goodbye. The texting lasted another month on buses, trains, and ferries, and then I stopped all communication with her. I spent one night at the luxurious Cliff Hotel for a total of $28, and then it was back down to Cebu City. I had my computer and some tunes set up for the ride. We made our way back down the windy Sea View 2-lane highway when we made a stop that changed everything. Here came down the aisle of the bus the most stunning jungle girl carrying a baby at her chest. She sat opposite of me, and I was sitting there thinking, I have to get next to her somehow and get to know her. I still to this day cannot remember how it was that I ended up sitting next to her as she sat by the window. But I put my left earphone in her ear and I took the right side. We listened to my then favorite song called Man Overboard most of the way back to Cebu. The open window, the blue sky, the green nature outside. I was falling in love. Okay, I'm going to stop there because I have to. That's all I wrote. So let's can it there. And hopefully this thing's still recording. Yeah, I like this idea of writing a while and then rewarding myself with a cigar. Oh yeah, and this new computer I've got writes really well. I'm using what am I using? I'm using an app that is pretty cool so far. What's this called? Oh, help me, Scrivener. Scrivener. Now here's a little bit on another side. When the first time I arrived in Thailand, and I met my friend, this American guy. It was the first day. I'm still trying to come up with the description of the phone, because actually it's a little bit different than I said here. So Jeff was wandering through the crowd to the large phone booth with a very oversized handle and keypad. The phone looked like a back in the day square phone that you would set down on a table, only it was 4 times the size and mounted to a London type phone booth. Jeff came sauntering up with his brim charter hat on and the string tied down, bouncing off his chest as he pounced toward me. See, Jeff, this place is crazy. Look at all these people. I've never seen so many people in my life. We popped into a 7-Eleven on the corner and I found some macadamia nuts and a bottle of Japanese green tea, to which I would get accustomed to for the next 14 years. So there you go. Yeah, that's just a little excerpt. I need to fix that part. Jeff came sauntering up with his brim charter hat on and the string tie down bouncing off his chest as he pounced toward me. Yeah, I think that kind of describes my friend Jeff. Well, I think Jeff kind of walks like with a kind of gangly walk. Jeff's kind of gangly. Sorry, Jeff. No offense. But Jeff is gangly. So anyway, I'm going to have a sip of this wonderful cherry soda. I think this is the Olipop. This is what I served to Wynonna Judd's husband at the concert, and also the All American Rejects. Those guys were funny. But yeah, so it's very interesting because I was trying to piece together the timeline of this journey, and actually I wait a minute. Where's the part about the restaurant? Hang on. Am I missing a? No way. I'm missing a. Oh, I no, I moved that down. Okay, never mind. That was out of the timeline because I was trying to figure out. I was trying to figure out the timeline because so much has happened in the last several years that I can hardly remember, which is why writing is kind of a good thing to do. I mean, I didn't remember. I had forgotten that I'd gone on like 5 dates before I met Christy. Now I kind of like how I did that with how I said that. I thought that was kind of an interesting little technique. It's like you sort of introduce something and then kind of lead back. Introduce something first and then kind of lead back, come back around to it. Like I had 5 dates before I met Christy. So then I kind of like that. It just happened spontaneously, but Christy. Now Christy was a pretty good girlfriend, I must say. She would have been a good girlfriend, I think. Yeah, she was pretty good. She was a bit. Actually, my girlfriend after her, I think, was better because she didn't complain about stuff. I had heard that girls from Bayawan in Negros, Philippines, were kind of like, what do you call it? Scammers, kind of like. It kind of had a reputation of being a place, be careful of those girls from Bayawan, man. But the girl that I did eventually meet was from there, and I think overall, looking back, if I say, I mean, she's not perfect. I wasn't perfect, etc., etc. But was she bad? No, no, she wasn't a bad person. And no, I was very lucky to be with her during that time. But anyways, but Christy. Well, I can't give the story away. I shouldn't give the story away. But maybe I can tell a little bit. But Christy was a teacher, and she was teaching like ESL. She had a pretty good job, and she tried really hard to get me a place to stay, and I even stayed in this like weird boarding house for a night. God, where the hell did I? I stayed in this creepy little boarding house room. Or no. We looked at it. And I ended up staying at the hotel with her. That's right. That's right. And then I don't know, what was it? I took her on an adventure up to Moalboal. Now this is before the pandemic, and we got this little hut. My French guy, which I might be able to find that guy again. His name was Christian, and Christian. Anyway, and she was just like complaining about it. Oh, it's cold, or it's mosquitoes or something. I mean, it's perfectly okay room. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. And then we took a place. We got a little room near the beach, which was even better. And went swimming that day. But yeah. Anyway, I won't say any more about that because that's the point of, But it's going to be quite a long book. Let's face it. Um, there's some dialogue in the book. It's not a whole lot, I think. I mean, there's some. It's not. I don't like books that are overly dialogue full. If that's a word, where the dialogue is overused. I'm not really into that. So anyway, it feels good that I'm working on something that I said I was gonna get done, and I think those things gnaw at you. When you don't finish something, you don't get something done. So anyway, but this app seems pretty good. I guess I have it for 30 days. I like how they do that. They give you the use of the app. So that's pretty much all I got for now. I'm feeling a little bit of improvement today with my health, my situation here, and gonna take a sleeping pill and go to bed here. So I wish I could remember the name of the girl that got on the bus. I'm trying to. I know that she eventually. I saw her. Her name is on the tip of my tongue. I saw that she got married. Uh, Sort of not long after. Somewhere between 2020 and 22. God, her name will come back to me. I love this process of writing and things come back to you. It's like it's the pictures. It's like going through this tunnel of time and you're seeing the visual pictures and the room, and I mean you kind of go in there, you're kind of scoping in there, like things start to come out and you start to remember little tiny things, that little details, just by sort of getting in a little bit into the memory and then writing. I think the thing about getting in there is writing about it. And once you kind of start writing about a little bit, it just sort of opens up and the scene comes back. That's the beauty of writing. Now, I also like the idea of writing as the things are happening. I think that that's a bit more. I mean, I think it's a bit more compelling. Not to say that writing in hindsight is not cannot also be compelling, but I think writing sort of as you're going is also compelling, but it's also compelling to have the hindsight as well. So I don't know, maybe it's 50-50. I don't know which one is better. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you think writing, like if you wrote this whole thing as a journal in the moment, it'd have a whole different, you'd feel the moment more. Obviously, this is a reflection. So, but I think if you ask me, I think I'd probably prefer the writing in the moment, because you can describe things also probably in more depth, because you don't have to draw on your memory to bring it back, if you know what I mean. Anyways, tonight I'm definitely going to take a melatonin and try to crash out. But just want to shout out to Nicole, if you're out there. And I'll be calling you soon. I think I told you I'd call you. And did I call or not call? I'm not sure. I had a little bit of drama with this job that I have, because I think they basically, I worked 2 weeks, made a few $100s, and I think they brought back their old employee and basically said, well, we'll give you 1 day a week or 2 days a week or something. I was like, nah, don't play with me. I don't like it. Anyways, I have a feeling this thing is going to click off any second. So if it does, good night. But it's funny, I was trying to piece together the history of this thing, because when I looked in my hotel bookings, it looked like I had left the island, or it looked like I had gone from the city to another island, and I couldn't figure out how did I went from the other island, then I was back, and then I went back again. I was like, no, that doesn't make sense. And then I realized, oh no, I had this date. So I actually came back from Negros Island back to Cebu, and then I immediately went on this. In fact, I remember exactly now. I remember exactly chatting with this girl in this tent that I was living at. So then I went back, and then I took the bus up there. But it's interesting to that's where a journal comes in handy, because then you know the dates and everything. And I mean, I got a hats off to my father. He's really amazing. I mean, he's kind of a writer himself, because he's always writing and making notes, making lists, and he has like journals since all the way back to like the 50s. He's got a book. He's got a book for each day. How many people? How many people have that? And so, very lucky to have that that kind of example. As a he's very diligent and organized. Always admired that. I'm getting more organized. I think part of my dilemma was that I couldn't type, and I finally taught myself how to type, and now I type quite fast. So, but I don't use the typical keyboard. I use the Dvorak. It's like an additional keyboard, but it's said that the keys are more ergonomic with your fingering, so you can actually go faster than the other system. I'm sure some people would argue that, but some people will argue anything, right? But a friend of mine helped me to learn this. My music coach and also my friend is my music coach. Let's see, he's my how do we call it? My intimate position coach, I guess. He's a sexologist, so he's quite a good guy to know because uh, I've been studying. Mom, I've been studying the optimal functioning of the man and the woman, and anyway, and it's not the North Pole; it's the North Star. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Gotta love these Garcias.